Hey guys, good morning. It is Friday, February 9th, and we are trading at 47.5 last I checked. And this is episode 36. So I'm going to cover a couple things today. I want to talk about the market. I want to talk about, the sort of FOMO level at 50K. Talk a little bit about the inflows of the ETF. And finally, I'm going to finish it off with stuff on MicroStrategy and Bitwise. All right, so let's look at the market. The market right now had this huge rally again yesterday. And these are levels we have not seen really for a while. We're at 47,668 right now. We touched 48 at one point. We bounced back off of that. We were at 48.2 a little earlier. We bounced back off of that, but we're at levels that we haven't seen since the CTF got announced, and I think we're also at levels of inflows of that are quite new, right? So, we had $400 million net buying power yesterday. And that's, including GBTC. So the GBTC selling is down to 70 million a day now. That may get to very little, almost zero in next week. And meanwhile, we have these huge flows really across the board, not just in BlackRock, not just in Fidelity, but ARK is seeing some good inflows. Bitwise is doing great. And so, I think this is the beginning now of Wall Street really sort of coming to grips with the ETF and sort of getting their clients talking about it. And I think we're getting to the point right now where we're going to hit these FOMO levels pretty soon. So what are these FOMO levels? Again, there's a video that I'll put another link to it with Tom Lee in 1999. He's done a whole study of these things. And there's a level at which investors want to FOMO in, and that's a level where kind of there really has only been 3% of the time that the market has ever traded above that level. And that's kind of the level where people sort of see these levels and they go, something new is happening here, I want to get involved. And I think with respect to kind of this ETF, I think there's a lot of people who sort of, they understand Bitcoin now, they understand the argument, they understand the ETF, they're comfortable with all that, but they haven't jumped into the pool. And they're going to jump in. They're going to jump in if this thing keeps on going up because they don't want to be the last person in the pool. Nobody wants to be the first person in the pool. Nobody wants to be the last person in the pool. So I think this level's coming right up. I think we could probably get there next week, 50,000. And if we hit 50,000, rather than be at a resistance level, I think that's the level at which actually people just start piling in. So, I do think we could go from 50 to 60 to 70 pretty quickly. And then I think we could see all that before the halvening. I'm still sort of, my prediction is that we hit all-time highs before the halvening. I haven't really backed off on that. One of the other arguments that Hunter Horsley said from Bitwise is that really, this is going to be the first real pricing of Bitcoin, right? Because, up until now, who are the people bringing new money into Bitcoin? Well, there's sort of this, there are some of the early crypto funds like Pantera. There's some sort of rich people, who came in and put some money, like Mike Novogratz, other people who were kind of early to this thing sort of put some money in. And then that's the people who are putting new money in. Now we're getting the bigger market. We are getting traditional investors, traditional portfolio investors, people who will be asset allocating a percentage of their net worth, a percentage of their client's net worth into Bitcoin. That could be 1%, that could be 3%, that could be 5%. We don't know, but they're going to take a view on the price of Bitcoin, and that view has not really been baked into where Bitcoin is today. So I think that's an excellent idea, excellent post from Hunter. And I will give credit now to Michael Saylor for, after this announcement that he's going to be kind of moving the company and the sort of a Bitcoin software development company. That sort of has ignited the imagination a little bit for MSTR. I thought that was a good idea. I'm not 100% convinced that what they're going to do with that. But, I will say one thing about it is it could sort of turn into something like a CMGI, if you'll remember back in the dot-com boom. CMGI was sort of a holding company for a lot of different things. They bought a lot of different assets. And it was always valued, I remember the valuation, they were always valuing it at 2 times the amount of assets. Now, I definitely could sort of see that if MSTR started buying things, I just sort of threw out a few names there, like this company Voltage, which, does sort of Lightning as a service. There's other Bitcoin companies. But I definitely feel like as a buyer of companies that are in this space, it's still very early days, but that could be very interesting for people to look at MSTR as like a CMGI or Vertical Net, which are these kind of portfolio companies, and they would be sort of valued at more than just the sum of the parts, right? So I think right now, if you look at MSTR, you look at the sum of the parts, it's kind of worth, it might be worth $7 billion, and the market cap is $10 billion. So it's sort of, there's a premium there, and the premium is that Saylor's going to figure this thing out. Now, if you look at Bitwise, which is sort of another one of these things, it's sort of MSTR without the Michael Saylor. And I don't mean the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF, but the Bitwise fund. The Bitwise fund is trading at I just took a look at it today, a 38% discount. So this thing is like the old GBTC. This thing is trading dirt cheap. And you can buy, I'm tempted to buy some here because I did buy some GBTC back in the day. And I kind of think the same argument is true here. Somehow this is going to work out. I don't know how long it'll take, but the fund owns Bitcoin mainly. It owns Ethereum. It owns Solana. So you know what? I think I'm going to take a little bit. I think I might just take a little sample, maybe buy $100,000 worth of that today. Not a lot, but just get my feet wet in Bitwise. Because I am kind of I love a good deal. I love a value play, but I am a little bit just on the growth side. I do think that I could definitely see this Saylor premium working, especially if they make an acquisition, right? Because that's I think would be kind of interesting. I think that would break some of these models. So. With that, I'm going to leave you. Guys, have a good weekend, and let's hope that we kind of hit this 50 level next week or this weekend. I'll talk to you guys later.